It is time to get down to business because it is the new moon in Capricorn. I'm Meagan Maris, and I'm here to bring you your energy update. This is good from January 18th through January 31st, and we have a lot of big changes. Not only do we have this powerful new moon in Capricorn, which I will share more about in just a few moments, but we also have Neptune moving into Aries, and we have Saturn sextile to Uranus. So this is the third time that this has happened. And it's kind of like this final culmination of these powerful energies working in harmony to bring change and growth into our lives. We also have a lot of the planets moving into Aquarius, which is going to feel really good if you are not a fan of kind of like this harsher Capricorn energy and you're like, we need to bring a little bit more air into the mix. We need to bring a little bit more excitement, a little bit more surprises, a little bit more rebellion. Well, we are gearing up for a powerful solar eclipse that's happening in Aquarius next month. So this month is really going to highlight the last of the purging that we're doing before the Chinese New Year and the solar eclipse and everything that's happening mid-February. So this is kind of like the final purging of the snake. And the new moon in Capricorn, it's really about getting grounded and focused on our dreams and our goals and the things that we want to bring into reality through the consistency of Capricorn energy, which is like eye on the prize, going step by step, like that goat that's moving up the mountain. So not only is the sun and moon going to be in Capricorn, which always happens that the new moon, the sun and moon are in the same sign, but we also have Mercury and Mars in the sign of Capricorn. So the way we think, the way we act, all of this is coming together. So it's like Capricorn on Capricorn on Capricorn. So last week we went through so many squares with Chiron and Aries hitting first Venus and then the sun and then Mars and then Mercury. So you might still be recovering from what I called echoes in mermaid consciousness, where it's like things from the past, things that we thought we were over or we've moved on from. It was like we were having to tie up the loose ends. And now it's sort of like we have gone through the wound, we have looked at it, and now it's like we're ready to accomplish, we're ready to work on what needs to be focused on. And so not only do we have this really good energy of Capricorn that's helping us to stay focused and motivated and keep our eye on the prize, we also have this moon being sextile to Saturn and Neptune both. So Saturn, of course, is the ruler of Capricorn. And then Neptune is in those last degrees of Pisces. Saturn is in the final degrees of Pisces. And so it's like there's still a bit of mysticism, of intuition, of the higher mind and this kind of like dreamy artistic nature that's coming through. And so with the moon sextile to Saturn and Neptune, it means that we're able to feel emotionally fulfilled enough to bring in the practical through Saturn, but also bring in like the beauty and the artistry of Neptune. So there's a lot of good energy. The only kind of challenge in this particular moon is that it's opposing Jupiter in Cancer. So Jupiter has been in Cancer where it feels pretty good in Cancer. And we've been expanding this ability to nurture and mother, whether it's mothering our children or mothering our creative projects or mothering our communities, or learning how to mother ourselves, which is so important, or our inner child. But now that we have all this energy in Capricorn, it's like we want to expand through this nurturing, but it's like we're being forced out of our comfort zone. But the planets are supporting this kind of like removal from the nest. It's like we just have to trust that, like, it's okay, we can move forward. So I would just encourage you to not overdo it in this moon, especially because with this Capricorn energy, it's like we might feel this urgency and this drive that we just got to start knocking off our tasks on the to-do list. But with this opposition to Jupiter, we don't want to go too hard too fast. We don't want to just start strong and not carry that momentum forward. So let yourself rest, go slow, start by getting organized. The new moon is not necessarily like the peak of energy. It's just the start of the journey. So think about what your intention is for this new moon. What do you want to create throughout this whole year, or at least the next 6 months until summer when we have our full moon in Capricorn? What do you want to accomplish when you start looking at this particular year of 2026? Like, where do you see yourself in 6 months? What would you have liked to complete? Are there any projects? Are there any goals? Where do you want to be in your career? What legacy do you want to leave behind? Because Capricorn energy is all about leaving our legacy. And so a legacy is built through consistency and step-by-step actions. It's not necessarily, building everything in one day. So we're right now in the planning stage and maybe just the start of the execution stage. So following our new moon on the 19th, the sun moves into Aquarius. The next day on January 20th, Mercury moves into Aquarius. And on January 23rd, Mars moves into Aquarius. So this is like that final push of Capricorn energy to like squeeze out everything that we need to release around becoming this like boss or CEO of our life, our main character energy. And then as it moves into Aquarius, it's like, okay, now that we have established that we're the boss, what are we going to create? How are we going to think outside the box? How are we going to do things in a different, innovative, genius way? That's what Aquarius is asking us to do. So then on January 20th, we have this powerful sextile between Saturn and Neptune. And again, it's like the practical meets the spiritual. And we have the opportunity to materialize whatever we want to bring into creation and have this grounded pathway for it to materialize, for it to come into being. But again, it's going to take us becoming that version of ourselves. And so what I would encourage you to do, if you have not already done so, is cultivating like a morning practice, a sacred ritual in the morning, like right when you wake up. So whether that's listening to affirmations or meditating or saying a prayer or writing in your journal or listening to uplifting music or writing down gratitude or visualizing what you want to come into reality, like the first moments of your day are everything. They're going to set the stage. And you also want to be so clear when we're in this energy of like what you're allowing in and what you're listening to. I made the choice to get off of TikTok, and I'm no longer doing the scroll thing. I'm now only going to be posting here on YouTube as well as Facebook and my newsletter and blog. This year I decided I needed to cut out TikTok as well as Instagram. Like it just wasn't the thing for me anymore. And it wasn't where my focus needed to be, where it was yielding the best results. I noticed I was just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and it was bringing me down. It was pulling down my energy. It was making my attention span like way less than it should be. And it just wasn't serving me. So all of a sudden, I just started listening to teachers and podcasts and things that I hadn't heard in a while, and making sure that everything around me in my energy field was bringing me up. And I've also had to say goodbye to some of my freelance work, and I'm quitting my group fitness teaching job. Next week is my last week doing that. And that's like a huge identity changer for me. Like I've been a fitness instructor for almost 10 years, and now like I'm being led in a different direction. So you might be starting to feel that as well, where you're having to kind of trim the excess in your life of like, where are you carrying too much on your plate? Because as we step into eclipse season next month, if we haven't already started to do the prep work, the universe is going to do it for us. So you want to be ready for that. And you want to just start asking yourself, like, does this match this version of me? Does this person, does this job, does this experience, does this belief, does this podcast, does this friend, does this healing modality, whatever it is, just start questioning everything and ask if it fits into this version of you. Because if you want to up level, you've got to do that. You've got to make sure that everything in your life is matching the frequency that you want to be in. So you don't want to be surrounded by complainers and negativity and just feeding into the distraction of all of the stuff that's going to keep you out of your focus. Capricorn is saying, eye on the prize. If it doesn't fit into your goal and your vision, then there's just no time for it. You know, love and light to everything else, but it's got to go. It's got to go. And you've got to be clear about that. You've got to be clear about your boundaries, and you've got to be clear about what and who you are letting into your life. So I'm going to be pulling some cards from my deck, the Mermaid Empowerment Oracle, as well as the tarot, and we're going to get a feel of what this powerful new moon is giving us. And again, it is the last dark moon right now, as I'm recording this before we go into new moon. So it's like the final purge. So if you've been feeling extra tired and you're like, why am I so tired? All I've been doing is sleeping. Then that's why. So we have to just be gentle with ourselves. And even though the eclipses are still about a month away, you might even be feeling that, because eclipse energy can make you tired because your body is trying to catch up to your consciousness. Just shuffling the cards here so that we can get a clear read. All right, we have forgiveness. I'm going to pull 3. Choosing forgiveness sets me free. We have believe. I believe it and receive it. And we have bliss. I embody the bliss of my soul's true purpose. Let's pull one more, just for funsies. And confidence. It feels so good to sparkle and shine. All right, so I feel like these are where we were and where we're headed, okay? Or how to overcome this is through this. So let's break this down. Choosing forgiveness sets me free, and I believe it and receive it. So this is like even starting from last week when we were moving through the echoes and the challenges. Choosing forgiveness sets me free. It just means that, like, as we're setting out on this new journey, this new year, this new trajectory, we can't bring the old grievances with us. The Course in Miracles says you can have a grievance or you can have a miracle, but you can't have both. It's literally one or the other. It's literally one or the other. It's literally one or the other. Do you want miracles? Do you want good and positive and powerful, uplifting things in your life? Do you? We all do, right? What do you have to forgive? That's your payment. And if you don't know how, that's okay. You can just say, I'm willing to forgive. Sometimes forgiveness is really hard, really hard. Believe me, there are certain things that have happened to me over the past year where I'm just like, universe, you expect me to forgive that? But look what they did. Look what they're continuing to do. Like, that's just not right. That's just not fair. And the universe is saying, grievance or miracle, you decide. Like, what they're doing, you set the boundaries, but don't let them live rent free in your head. And this also has to do with self-forgiveness. Like, don't be carrying around this woe is me energy of why did I do this? Why didn't I do this? I should have done this. I shouldn't have done that. Like, let it go. Let it go. And then I believe it and receive it. You have got to believe it first. This is the energy of the wish fulfilled, like Neville Goddard talks about, where, you know, she's believing that her desire, her manifestation is now going into the universe, and it is going to come through and be received. Like, start focusing on best case scenario and not, oh my gosh, what if this happens? What if that happens? So how do we get from that place of needing to believe and have faith and needing to forgive? We have bliss. I embody the bliss of my soul's true purpose. And we have confidence. It feels so good to sparkle and shine. Embodying the bliss of your soul's true purpose means focusing on the things that bring you joy and being of service, your light work, your mission, your purpose. And if you want support, book an astrology reading with me, and we can look at your chart and figure out what the stars are saying for this year and just in general, where to focus your energy and what lights you up and how to light up the world with your gifts. And then confidence is saying that this is the year to be seen. This is the time to come out of the cave and to be okay by ruffling feathers, especially as we get into Aquarius season. It's going to be trendy this year to be weird and different. So get on the trend early, because the North Node is going to be moving into Aquarius later this year. So the more you can kind of be weird and unique and innovative now, the more that you're going to start to kind of like hit that momentum. And then like you're going to rise even higher as we get to mid-year. So let's pull the tarot card and kind of tie this all together. We have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is like making a choice, but not necessarily like setting off just yet. You see how she's got the car and the globe and she's looking out the window. It's like she's planning. This is the planning stage. What do you need to plan? What do you need to clear? What do you need to get on the calendar? How do you need to start your routines and your habits so that you can move forward in eclipse season on this like new adventure of this 1 year of the horse? Let's pull one more card. And we have the Six of Wands, which is so beautiful. Victory, like being seen and received for your gifts and all the hard work that you're putting in. So you've got this. You've got this. As Neptune moves into Aries, which happens on January 26th, we're going to feel this energy. And maybe it might not be an overnight thing because Neptune is a slow moving planet. But this new journey that we're taking is going to lead us to success. And we're going to feel that fire. We're going to start to feel it by the end of the month and moving onward into eclipse season next month. But right now, we've got to start getting our consistency, our routines, our habits, and our focus in order so that we have laid all the groundwork for the divine to come through and move us into that new timeline. So if you want support, again, you can book an astrology reading or a galactic channeled reading. I'm also offering the Year of the Horse energy reading, which is a pre-recorded layout and PDF. It's super helpful. It's going to give you the basis of this year. It will give you your tarot card and mermaid empowerment of the year to help you plan accordingly and to show up to all the main events of this year, the eclipse seasons, the retrogrades, fully prepared and ready for your lessons. Also, if you're an entrepreneur and you're interested in graphic design, web design, or anything like that, Meagan Maris Designs is also my other business where I support entrepreneurs and light workers just like you to be seen and to create their digital sanctuary. So I love you so much. Have a beautiful new moon and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.